Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to learn about a new poem. April is National Poetry Month, and so that's why we've been doing a lot of poems lately. But today we're going to learn a special type of poem. It's called a Diamante poem. Okay, so this is the sheet that we're going to use for it. And the reason why it's called a Diamante poem is because that word diamante sounds like diamond. And this poem is in the shape of a diamond. And we're going to pick a topic. In this case, we're going to use an animal. And we need to find words to describe that animal to say what it's like. So we're going to use nouns, adjectives, verbs, and more adjectives and a noun at the end, okay? So I'm going to help you learn how to make a Diamante poem. So first, you need to decide what animal you want to pick. I know you all know that my favorite animal is a squirrel, so that's what I'm doing mine on because it's the animal I know the best. So my topic is a squirrel, and I'm using my brainstorming sheet now. So the first box on my brainstorming sheet says nouns. We know that a noun is a person, place, or thing. In this poem, I'm going to use my noun as the name of my animal. So I'm going to write squirrel in that box that says noun because that's what I'm talking about, the thing, the animal, a squirrel. Next, my box says adjectives. Adjectives, we know, are words that describe, okay? So I'm going to try to think of as many words that describe what a squirrel is like. Can you think of any words that describe what a squirrel is like? I've thought of a couple. I think that squirrels are fluffy. They have really bushy, fluffy tails. So I'm going to write fluffy. I think that squirrels are fast. I always see them racing from tree to tree. So I'm going to write fast. I think that squirrels are sneaky. Sometimes I see them hiding from their predators, from animals that might want to hurt them. So I'm going to write sneaky. And I need at least 5 words, okay? So I need to keep thinking. I only have 3. I need 2 more words to describe what a squirrel is like. How about furry? I think they're furry. And I want one more. I'm going to say that they're playful. Okay, so now I have 5 adjectives, 5 words to describe what my animal is like. Now, the last thing I need to do is think of verbs. Remember, verbs are action words, things that you do, things that your animal does. And on my brainstorming sheet, it says action words ending in ing. So I want to make sure that my verbs end in the sound ing. So I want to think about things that squirrels do. What do you think squirrels do? I see squirrels climbing a lot. Climbing up trees, okay? And notice how I didn't write the word climb, I wrote the word climbing because I need that ing sound at the end. Okay, so my squirrels that I see are climbing. I see them chasing a lot of the times. Maybe they're chasing each other. I see squirrels jumping from branch to branch. So I'm going to write jumping. Lots of times I see them eating little acorns. So I'm going to write eating. How about, one more word. Can you think of anything that a squirrel might do? An action that you see them doing a lot? I'm going to say hiding because earlier I said that they were sneaky. Now I'm going to say that they are hiding because sometimes they have to hide from animals that might want to hurt them. Okay, so now I have 5 verbs, 5 actions that I see squirrels doing. Now, the last thing on my paper says one word synonym. And a synonym is just a special word that means the same thing as another word. So I'm going to try to think of another word that means the same thing as squirrel, which this could be a little tough. So you might need to get a little help from mom or dad or whoever's helping you. But I'm going to say that the synonym for squirrel is rodent because I know that squirrels are part of the scientific family called rodent. They're in the same family as rats and mice. So for my synonym, I'm going to write rodent. So at this point, I have all of my brainstorming done. I have nouns, I have adjectives, verbs, and a synonym, okay? So now these words are going to help me when I make my poem. So now I'm going to go to my writing sheet, okay? The one that has the big diamond on it. And I'm going to use the words that I brainstormed to make my poem. The hard part is done. So, poet, who's the poet? In this case, it's Miss Monty. And then on the top of my diamond, I see noun. And I'm going to write exactly what I wrote in the noun box of my brainstorming sheet. And in the noun box of my brainstorming sheet, I wrote squirrel. So I'm going to put squirrel right up there. And this you want to make really neat because it's your final draft. Neatest handwriting. Then I see adjective, adjective. So I want to pick 2 adjectives from my brainstorming box for adjectives. The first 2 ones I wrote were fluffy and fast. So I'm going to use those too. Fluffy. And then on the next line, I'm going to write fast. Okay, so it should look just like that by now. Okay, then I see 3 lines for my ing verb. So that's my third box down here. I'm going to pick 3 of my verbs. I'm going to pick climbing, chasing, and jumping. And I'm going to write them in the middle. Climbing, chasing, and jumping. All right, now I'm down here, 2 more adjectives. So I'm going to pick 2 more adjectives from my adjective box on my brainstorming sheet. So I'm going to pick sneaky, and I like playful. So I'm going to pick sneaky and playful. So I'm going to write sneaky on the first line and playful on the second line. And then the very last line I have is noun. And I'm going to write what I put for the noun, the one word synonym, that last word that I wrote that meant the same thing as my animal. And I said it was rodent. So I'm going to put rodent on the last line. And now I'm finished, okay? So let's read it. It says, squirrel, fluffy, fast, climbing, chasing, jumping, sneaky, playful, rodent. And there you have it. You've just written a Diamante poem, okay? I cannot wait to see what animals you pick and what words you use to describe them. Have an awesome time working on this activity.